Back to the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with another video. This time I want to talk to you about Xtransbots Menasor, and I'm going to ask you, is Keith going to swindle us on this Menasor release? And the reason I ask this, well, Mike, how could Keith swindle us? They've given us two good releases. Why would they swindle us? What are you talking about? Well, hey, thanks for asking. I'm glad you asked it, and here I am to talk to you about it. I have about a handful of points here, a few points which are very obvious and everybody knows. One point that might be mind-blowing, and then, well, let's get into this. But this is discussion. I want to hear what you have to say. What do you think? But let's get right into the first release. So this thing came out, the Crack Up came out at $40, and that set a precedent as an expectation for the limbs to each be $40. And so with that, I thought, okay, well, that is really a good price. I really wasn't going to be in on what a $500 and $600 combiner. So yeah, you know, $550 combiner wouldn't be great, but this thing will put it around the 440 times 4 would make it 160, and then you have another $100 would be my expectation for the main bot, and so you're looking at 260, maybe 300 tops of the 140 on the main bot. So I was just really in on that, and I thought, okay, $300 is the brand new. You get this combiner. Xtransbots is going to look great, and I love Xtransbots. I'm a huge Xtransbots fan. So next, they come out with Flip Out, and another great release, but also brings a new price, a price of $60. And I'm thinking, what? Why isn't it $40? And at the same time, overnight, the first release jumped from $40 to $50. So now they charge a $50 for Crack Up, and they're charging $60 for this guy. And then I'm thinking, well, that's interesting. How come there's so much more? Now, I find ways and means to get things cheaper. I did pay my $40 for the first one. I didn't find it cheaper than $40 anywhere. But I did find this guy for like $52 and pulled that off. But that's still, in my opinion, more than I was in for on this set. But I'm like, yeah, maybe I can buy all the rest of the releases for about the price of this guy. But then something else started happening. They started releasing their exclusive repaints as G2. The G2 sets were priced at $80. Some places 72 or whatever. So if you get each release, 70, $80, somewhere around that price range. Because I've seen them price that all over. And of course, then you start to wonder, is it multiple production runs? I personally think that they say, we're making this figure 2,000 of the G1, then we're going to crank out 500 of the G2. And then that's kind of how that's going. And with only 500 of a specific repaint, they know that G2 is not going to sell nearly as well as a G1 version, and that the repaint one. But there's a bunch of people that would like to have that, a small group of the collectors that want to have both, or just the G2 or something like that. So that's why it's getting made. But you see the price on those, and it's outrageous, in my opinion, that a $40 figure is now getting charged, repainted and charged $80. So with that, I mean, we called it an exclusive, and then some places get the exclusive. However that's working out, it's still working out. Next thing I want to point out is how they're battling this whole time with DX9. And DX9 is offering a much bigger figure that's more of a masterpiece scale, because I don't like the Carbot size scale. And these are Carbot sized. But I don't care about them in robot mode. I don't care about them in the beautiful car mode that they're in. I care about them in combined mode, which I took the time to set these up to be ready for the combined mode. I'm going to keep them and put them in combined mode, keep them in combined mode. So that's why I've prepared them already. Haha. So, but DX9's going to be a little bit bigger, a little bit taller, but looking at the renders, I think DX9 wins in combined mode. So, with that, they've got competition, but the DX9 is 100. They're supposed to be releasing theirs for 40. Now then they're releasing 60. And if the next release comes out at 70, which is kind of my expectation, then that's not a good win for me. So I wouldn't be happy about that. That's where I feel like I'm getting swindled. But here's the other thing, and this is what's going to blow your mind, that you don't have to have these to combine it. Yes, you could build them without these two. These are the legs, and DX9 is doing the same thing. They're putting their legs out. But with the Xtransbots, you could build your Xtransbots version of Menasor without these two clipped to the back of the legs, and it would still look too inaccurate. You still would never notice. You would barely notice. And if you did notice, barely notice. DX9 would be a lot more noticeable. And at their higher price point, and the Xtransbots has a little bit better sculpt, in my opinion, it looks more G1. DX9 is a little bit like a fraction of an inch taller, which I don't really care. That height difference doesn't make a difference to me. I really wish this thing was a full inch taller, inch and a half taller, and just meet up with Zeta. And then meets up with Zeta. That's another thing for getting into that. With Zeta is giving us an actual Masterpiece size figure for 60. These things are not Masterpiece size. So if I transform into a robot, I feel like they're underwhelmingly small. They look good though. So I'm a Xtransbots lover. I love Xtransbots product, but they look so small. And I'm like, come on, man. And then I was like, I'll accept the smallness of each of these releases because they're 40. Oh wait, oh, now they're 60. Oh, what's the next price going to be? I think they're building us up for a price jump. And hopefully I could put this video out there and everybody else can be talking about it, and they know, I know Keith keeps his finger on the pulse of the collector community, and he won't want to outprice his community. I know he wants to move his product. He puts out so much to move the product, so please not overpricing it. But with that, how much will be? And Motormaster, I was thinking it would be 100 now, I'm thinking 140, but then there's two price points. There's the Fans Toys price point where all their stuff's coming out at 180. Yeah, maybe some places sell it for like 174 or 2 or something like that. But 170 to 180. Then you have the Zeta price point on their Silver Bolt and their the other one. That is 140. So what's going on there? So why is this a big deal to me? Because I'm not in on a set for $550. I'm in on a set for $300. I started in on this set expecting to pay no more than $300, and it looks like I'm already going to be at $400 before it's all done. I had that expectation set when it was with Zeta, and I don't know. I'm not happy about it. So let's not make this too long of a video. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Like, subscribe to Dairy Hanger. Out.